Welcome to Black Rooster Network. Hope everybody had a good holidays. It is the new year, January 6th, 2017. And I hope everybody had a good holidays. I know that guy didn't have a good holiday. I tell you what, man, that cat is a stone cold gangster. He saw his owner acting like a punk and he's like, you know what? You're fronting. We're not having that. I'm about to bite your ear off. So I thought that video was really awesome, man, because if I was an animal, I would have done the same thing to him. So couldn't have gone better. Alright, so a lot of things I wanted to get into today. So many things. Of course, I have to be brief on them. I can't keep them too long, but I'll see if I can speed it up as much as possible and still get my point across. So for starters, it is NFL playoff weekend. Obviously, Seahawk fan, you know what I mean? So I'll give you my quick picks and predictions. Obviously, I think we're gonna win. However, I don't know how things are going to go on the road with Atlanta. I mean, I'm expecting the worst. I just really don't feel like we feel it right now. Unless they show me something different, but I think we get out of this one maybe by 3 points, and the next one is whenever the bombs start to really fall. Green Bay Packers and Giants. Man, that's going to be a really great game. That one's on Sunday, by the way. You got the boogeyman, Aaron Rodgers, versus Eli Manning. And I think that's where the difference is going to be. I think it's going to be a close game, hard-fought one, but I just think that Eli is going to throw a costly interception, and that's going to be all she wrote. Another one, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dolphins. I think the Steelers get it done. I mean, I think they get the Dolphins this time at home. Another one, the last one for the wild card weekend is the Texans and the Raiders. Okay, I think the Texans got the Raiders on this one. Derek Carr's out, and it's shown to be a factor. So I think Houston gets away with this one, and they go and get murked by New England in the playoffs in the divisional round. So that's all I have for that on football. I'm going to get in really quickly about Ronda Rousey. I mean, I can go on and on. Everybody's been going on it forever, and, you know, there's so many things she did wrong. But look, where you can start is when you get starched like that, take a tune-up fight, man. I mean, what's the rush? You're going to make your millions regardless. Just take a tune-up fight. Take 2 tune-up fights and be like, all right, I know what it's like to get hit again and how it feels to be in there, so I'll be ready next time. But, you know, I mean, tough, man. Tough to watch. She went in there and got straight starched. She didn't know where the hell she was at. I don't think she dodged any one of those punches. And I can say from experience, because I've been in there, so I'm not just a guy who's just sitting on the couch and saying, "Oh yeah, anybody can do it," because I know what I'm telling you. But man, she really should have taken some tune-up fights, and I think it was a confidence thing more than anything else. You know, just her confidence was at an all-time low. She was fooling herself, and get rid of that trashy coach, man. The dude, he's trash, man. She gets rid of him, I think she'll be all right, and stick to what she's good at, judo. So that's really where my whole stance is on that, and it's over. I think she goes into retirement, and that's that. So another thing is, I was looking at Yahoo the other day, and there was this that guy. I really don't know his name, and I'm not about to look it up, but he went to jail, and he had like a teardrop tattoo, and they got his mugshot, and all the ladies thought he was just so attractive, and it gathered that much news, you know, that this Khan was so attractive from his mugshot. So much so that when he got out of jail, he got like modeling contracts. So I was looking at Yahoo, and his picture popped up, and he was taking. This guy has a mansion, man. Like he had a freaking. It's a picture of him standing in front of his mansion with his wife, and he's got a Bugatti, or he's got a, what do they call that? I don't know. He had some kind of car, like a Maserati. He had one of those cars behind him, and I was like, man. I said, the justice system has failed, man. So I was like, golly. You know, and I can't even follow in his footsteps, or nobody even can follow in his footsteps as far as success goes. I'll tell you what, man, I guarantee you, I get a teardrop tattoo on my face, and I go to jail, they're not going to send me here. They're going to send me to Guantanamo Bay, or they're going to send me to freaking Guadalajara, man. Pelican Bay, you know? Shoe program, man. That's what they're going to do with me. So, you know, it's just, God, they really missed that one on that one. So I was like, I mean, good for him, I guess, but man, system sucks. So I had to throw that one out there, but I mean, whatever. I don't want to hate too much on him. I mean, he's doing good, but it's just like, damn, man, damn it. So what I thought was really cool that I've been talking about to a couple of people this week. I disagree, but I still thought it was cool. I talked to this guy who works he works for Google Intelligence. He said, and they're working on they got a Google car out right now, and they're trying to get self-driven cars. Because he was telling me, he was like, "Yo, man, you got any kids?" And I was like, "Nah, man, I don't." He goes, "We're working on some cool stuff, man." He goes, "In 10 years," he goes, "I'll tell you what." He goes, "Your kids, by the time you have kids, they'll never know what it's like to know how to drive." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Man," he goes, "I've we've been working on these smart cars, and in 10 years, it's gonna revolutionize everything." He says, "I was sitting passenger side with my boss, my supervisor, and I was watching him, and the steering wheel was moving by itself, changing lanes, and he said that he was just there on the clipboard, not even paying attention. He was just jotting everything down, and this car was efficiently doing everything by itself." And I was like, man, I was like, you know what though, man? I said, I really enjoy driving. I don't know how everybody else feels. I can see how it can stop things like DWIs, like accidents. That was gonna drop dramatically. And driving while texting, that's gonna take care of that, of course, which is a good thing. But I mean, like I said, I really enjoy driving, and I think if I can, I'm gonna drive anyway. I mean, I really could care less. I'm not really into that, and I'll go into the negatives about that. Anything man-made is not perfect, and with that said, you know, it's gonna have its errors. So you think about things like that, and you're like, okay, well, what if it goes haywire, and I can't take control of the wheel or anything like that? I'm gonna be doing freaking donuts in the parking lot, and I'm not gonna be able to stop it. So and that's comes to whatever I'm thinking about, man. That's some iRobot stuff, man. Just people. What it comes down to is people are getting lazier, man. Just really lazy, and just that's one thing I think they should leave alone and just take a backseat to is just wait on that. Mercedes wanted in on that too, but they did want they wanted to be able for the human to put their hand on the wheel, and that means they take control. So the thing will drive by itself, but the moment you put your hand on the wheel, you have control. But Google was like, nah, man, it's the full thing. We're not gonna do that. People should have no control. And I was wondering too, man. So like, I wonder if that were to come true. I wonder what would happen to car companies like Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Mercedes, companies like that, because the cars are all doing the same thing and pretty much running at the same performance. I mean, because you're not driving them or anything. I wonder what's going to happen to companies like that, because I mean, virtually the product's all the same. Now, really, all you're buying is the brand, because I mean, you're still not driving at the end of the day. So that's the question that he didn't really have an answer for. But I mean, it's cool what they're doing, but like I said, I for one, I'm not on board with it. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm not really down with all that. So I mean, call me old-fashioned or or afraid of technology. But so that pretty much was that, and I've been seeing a lot of other things too. People are really panicking and stuff. And don't get scared. I'm just telling you what I'm reading. They're showing pictures of like people are seeing like devils and stuff and demons all over the damn place. And they, on a bright note, they got this lady she showed me a picture off of her Facebook where they captured a picture of Jesus in the sky. It was between clouds and light, and it actually does look like it. It looks like he's holding his hands out. And so she was telling me, she goes, "Yeah, I think this is the end of days, and I mean, how else can you explain it?" And yada yada yada. And I'm like, I don't read into it. I don't believe any of that. I mean, I'm just listening. I mean, it's been the end of days for how long now? I mean, I was born in '88, so I can say I'm a '90s kid. I remember in '99, I got all worked up that I was gonna freaking die in Y2K. They were like, "Oh, all the computers are gonna fail, and then everything, all the satellites are gonna drop down and explode in the earth." So I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna die, man. I'm not even ready to die." You know, I haven't even hit my teens. So, you know, then you had that one. And then you had the freaking Mayan calendar, the 2012 and stuff like that. And it's like, oh yeah, they have it on their calendar, man. You know, they've predicted this, and nothing against the Mayans, man, could be, but I mean, how credible is that really? Is that really? I mean, these guys, I mean, they're no longer around, man. So I mean, so you know, how smart were they really? I mean, I'm pretty sure to a degree of their time, but I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't what it was. So you know, we've been dying. Every day is the end of the world, man. So I mean, I could die tomorrow. So don't stress yourself out if you're reading that and thinking that, oh yeah, it's the end of days. You know, you can die and get hit by a bus, and you don't even got to worry about that. The end of the world comes early for you. So that's just, so just don't even worry about that right there. Um, Again, I hope everybody's New Year is taking off fairly well. I mean, mine's been a blast. I mean, we're only like 5-6 days into it, but I mean, shoot, 2017's been pretty legit. 2016 was pretty much leading up to this point. That was a pretty good year. I mean, 2015, I just want to freaking forget, man. That whole year is a blur to me. I mean, that was a nightmare of a year. So I hope everybody else is having a great year. And like I said, it's got off to a bang, and I'm looking forward to it continue to get even better. So I hope everybody's is going in that direction. And all right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up. It's already been a little over 10 minutes. You can catch me hopefully next week on my next podcast. I'll have my guest will either be Athens Hayes or Madeline Tapia, which goes by acronym or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to get with her on that. But we'll catch you next week, and we'll be sure to have a pretty entertaining show for you. All right, you guys, take it easy.